Let's take a look at how to use the turntable. It'll come in use around Cumberland Yard. There are two key components: the table, which must be locked in place to use, and the control cabin the table is operated from. Take a seat inside the control cabin and we'll get started. On the left is a monitor to view the action outside. In the middle is the rotation control. And on the right is the table lock control. Let's activate the desk by turning the monitor on and unlocking the table. Now we want to rotate the table to point towards the nearby locomotive. Click and drag the rotation control to take the table in the direction you need. Let go of the rotation control. The track nears the left side of the monitor. Before we head over to the locomotive, be sure to lock the table again so that the turntable is safe to drive onto.
Hey, shouldn't this monitor be showing me a train right there?
As you drive onto the turn, take it very slowly so you don't overshoot. Going slowly also means that not much brake is required to stop. Once stopped, climb down from the locomotive, head back to the control cabin. With the locomotive ready to be turned, activate the motor and unlock the table. Using the rotation control, turn the table and locomotive to the indicated track. Lock the turntable in place before you leave, then climb back aboard the locomotive and run it to the designated marker.
Don't forget to turn lights on.
Let's take a look at how to use the turntable. It'll come in use around Cumberland Yard. There are two key components. The table must be locked in place to use, and the control where the table is operated. Take a seat in the cabin and we'll get started.
Up should be on, down should be off.
On the left is a monitor to view the side. In the middle is the rotation control. And on the right is the table lock control. Let's activate the desk by turning the monitor on and unlocking the table. Now we want to rotate the table to point toward the nearby locomotive. Click and drag the rotation control to move the table in the direction you need. Let go of the rotation control as the track nears the left side of the monitor. Before to the locomotive, be sure to lock the table again so that the turntable is safe to drive onto. As you drive onto the turntable, take it very slowly so you don't overshoot. Going slowly also means that not much brake is required to stop. Once stopped, climb down from the locomotive and head back to the control cabin. With the locomotive ready to be turned, activate the monitor, the table. Using the rotation control, turn the table and locomotive to the indicated track. Lock the turntable before you leave, then climb back aboard the locomotive and run it to the designated marker. Excellent work! That concludes this tutorial on turntables. Fueling is an important part of keeping a locomotive running, so let's go over how we do it. A refueling stand consists of two components: the hose, which is next to the locomotive, and the pump activation control. A locomotive is already stopped in the right place. Walk over and recap. Now, go and pick up the fuel hose. Take it over the locomotive and attach the hose to the fuel tank. Return to the fuel stand and activate the refueling pump. It will automatically switch off once the tank is full. You can see the state of refueling by observing the indicator on the side of the fuel tank. Pick up the hose from the fuel stand, then replace the fuel tank cap. And that's all there is to it.
Train brakes.
This is where you'll learn all about brakes and how they work. On this locomotive, there are 3 braking systems available to the engineer. Dynamic, auto, and independent. Dynamic brakes work by reversing the polarity of the traction motors. When a train is moving, this action causes resistance against the turning axles. As this system only works when the axles are turning, this means the dynamic brake cannot stop a train, only slow it down. Train or auto brakes work by controlling air pressure in a brake pipe that runs the entire length of the train. This pipe connects to brake cylinders on each individual car. In turn, these cylinders push directly on the wheels to slow them down. Locomotive or independent brakes are similar in operation to the auto brake. However, this brake only affects the locomotive itself, not the entire train. The independent brake is used when switching cars in a yard or for holding a stopped train on level or low grade. When the auto brake is applied, it directly affects something called the equalizing reservoir. Think of this readout as the target pressure for the controlled brakes on the train. Next to it is the brake pipe pressure. This indicates the overall brake pressure along the train. So, as the engineer, you set a desired pressure via the equalizing reservoir, and then the brake system will react to match this target. Perform a brake application on this train of 20 cars to see this process in action. Using the auto brake, reduce the equalizing reservoir. Watch for the brake pipe pressure indication to matching this reduction and applying the brakes on the train. Now let's see the same process on a much larger train. Head over to the adjacent locomotive and climb to the cab. train has 100 cars. Let's see what difference this has on the reaction speed of the brakes. Repeat the reservoir reduction from before, again using. Watch how long it now takes for brake pipe pressure to match. The skill here is knowing when to start braking. Now that we have seen the brakes, let's see how long it takes to release them. Using the auto brake, set the stabilizing reservoir back to its previous position. This action triggers the brake pipe along the train to begin recharging. When the brake pipe begins to repressurize, the brake cylinders holding the wheel vent their air completely to the atmosphere. This is a trip. There is no way to partially release these brakes.